I did my interview on a lactation consultant named Catherine Cook. She's an ICBLC, which is an international board certified lactation consultant. She works at Northwest Hospital, and we did my interview on October 29th, 2020. Catherine has many types of roles and responsibilities as a lactation consultant. She has two different aspects she has to keep in mind when leading. She has her team members and her patients. When leading her team members, she gives directions and assigns daily responsibilities for them to do. Also, she guides, motivates, encourages, and supports them. Catherine mentioned that it is her job to educate them on updated breastfeeding information since this field's education is always evolving. In addition, she must reinforce rules and regulations, keeping staff within the budget, relaying information, and she needs to be proactive by knowing what's going on with every patient and lactation consultant team member. When working with patients, her main role is to educate and assist mothers with breastfeeding. She asks the mothers a series of questions about herself, baby, and breastfeeding. With the information provided, she is able to address the problem, support mom and baby by making an action plan to achieve their goals for breastfeeding. Catherine has many leadership styles. She stated she really strives to motivate and encourage her team. She calls herself her team's cheerleader. This leadership quality relates to passion from 5 ways leaders are different to managers because she provides the uplifting emotion in a leadership exchange. Also, Catherine has character to be a leader. She said she always sets her team up for success and believes in them in any situation. Also, she stated that she is the type of leader that leads by example. She will never ask someone to do something that she wouldn't do herself and that she hasn't done before, along with listening and understanding their needs and expectations to be successful. I believe that the ultimate attribute to a leader is the capacity to listen, to understand, and to feel the needs, fears, and expectations of every team member. Without this, there is no reciprocal trust, and it is not possible to bring a team member together for success. That's a quote from 5 Ways Leaders Are Different to Managers. There's a lot of data that Catherine uses to assess her patients as a lactation consultant. She mentioned that it is very important to remember that you have 2 patients in this line of work, mom and baby. Both are equally important, and it is a team effort to make breastfeeding successful. Before she meets with the patient, she checks the patient's chart. She looks over medical health history along with other details such as baby's birth. If the mother had previous children, does she have a previous underlying medical condition? Then, when she meets with the patient, she asks a series of questions to get to know the mother and the baby better and assess the breastfeeding situation. She asks, do you have any medical conditions? Have you ever had breast surgery? Is this your first baby? If not, how many other children do you have? Did you breastfeed your other children? Was it successful? How was baby's birth? Vaginal, C-section, breech? How many weeks was baby? Once she gets background knowledge on mom and baby, she moves on to questions like, how is breastfeeding going? Is it painful? How is baby acting at the breast? How often are they feeding? Also, she said that she always asks mom to share her cultural background with her, since she has learned that every culture has different breastfeeding values, views, and traditions. In addition, she said it is so important to ask if mom has a support system at home. Once Catherine knows all this information, she can better help her patients. She is able to address the problem, make a plan to achieve their goals, and get the extra help if needed. Also, she mentioned that breastfeeding is not a one-size-fits-all and to keep in mind that every situation is different. The questions will be different for every patient, and you have to choose the best option that is for that mom and baby. Do what works best for them. Catherine said that she provides as many learning opportunities for her team. She allows them to learn from their knowledge and experiences. She is constantly providing them with new education and updates that allows them to put into their practice. When they first are becoming ICBLCs, they have to complete their clinical hours, which is a lot of hands-on hours, assisting other lactation consultants. Catherine said, I really do my best to prep them and let them learn by experience, since they don't know what normal breastfeeding is or not. There are so many components to breastfeeding, and I don't expect someone to know all of it. They will eventually learn through their education experience. Catherine mentioned that the learning experience are far and wide, and that she allow all her team members to do them. She said it is all about knowing your patients and being prepared. Learning will happen on its own. The way Catherine assesses and evaluates her learners is by observation. She watches them and makes mental notes in her head about their strengths, struggles, and challenges. Another way she assesses them is from feedback from patients. She will ask them, "How was your meeting? Did they meet you and your baby's needs? Did you get the help you needed?" With this information, she is able to assess and evaluate her lactation team members. Also, Catherine said that she has good communication with her team members, which gives her insight on how they are doing. One question she always asks is, "Are you comfortable with this, or do you want me to come with you?" That allows for an open door for communication and strengthens her relationships with her team. All this really gives her an assessment and evaluation of her learners. When Catherine is a team member or a patient, she is always doing her best to think positively. She is always encouraging, compassionate, and empathetic, especially with a patient because she knows firsthand how difficult breastfeeding can be. Catherine said, "I am always remind moms it's just a short time in their life that baby will be little. It's a skill that both you and baby need to learn and can master once you have it down. Then breastfeeding will be completely normal." Catherine is very much an optimist in this statement. Optimists believe it's a temporary blimp in their life. This is from our textbook. In addition, Catherine said that this is easy for her to optimize in her work because of her education. She is confident in what she is doing and she knows there is science behind breastfeeding to back up her work. Science has a lot of order and she likes knowing where it will end up. Also, there are many ways breastfeeding can impact in other ways. A couple to name is face structure and muscles, cognitive development, mouth placement, speech, and future health habits. Catherine mentioned science gives us optimism because it has made such a difference in our lives. As a team leader, Catherine advocates for all her team members and patients. She meets their individual needs and advocates where needed. Also, being the leader encourages her to know what she needs to do so she can better advocate for them. She relays vital information to patients and speaks on behalf to team members to managers. One example Catherine talked about was when she calls in extra team members for help. She said she has to be aware of the staffing ratios because of the budget. She said if she makes the wrong call, she always takes the heat and advocates for the decision for the team. This example reminds me of our book. Optimists hold themselves responsible and accountable for their actions, successes, and failures in life. When they fail, they pick themselves up and start afresh with a change of strategy. Currently, Catherine is advocating for the team to get more education because it is needed. She presented the scenario to her managers with information, budgeting, and how it will help the patients and lactation consultants. She said, "I know I have to advocate for my team in this because if I don't, it will never happen." In conclusion, I gained a lot of information on what it would be like to lead a team of lactation consultants. I never thought about how many different aspects a lactation consultant has to look at if you're the leader. You have all your team members and your patients to look after. And you have two patients too. You have mom and baby per case. I learned that you have to be a good leader. You must know your team, patients, and be willing to do what it takes to meet their needs. Along with taking care of staffing, budgeting, and many other responsibilities, I learned that education is vital to this career choice, and I find it so interesting to learn about all the evolving education that happens in this field. Through this interview, it really piqued my interest in this career choice and makes me want to look deeper into what it takes to be a lactation consultant.